You're starting
All right, everybody. It's DNA. Back one more time. This is May 14th, the day after Friday the 13th. For those of you that suffered from triskaidekaphobia, the fear of 13. So,
okay.
like I said, it's May 14th, Saturday, the Saturday after Friday the 13th, for the slow people.
You talking about our people?
I'm talking about all people. Anybody that's slow. I mean, if you take offense, it is what it is.
He's so mean.
Hey, I'm for real.
He mean. Okay, what do you want to call it? He mean.
Well, I mean,
because I might be slow today.
You can take out of context what slow means. It could be your mental capacity. It could be your mobility.
I'm slow today because I'm super tired.
Well,
that's my slow.
It's a little dreary outside. It's cloudy. It's looking right funky. Anywho, subject matter: sex. When is too early? When should it be done? Opinion. Wasn't ready for that one.
No, I wasn't ready. I was thinking. I was hoping you was gonna keep talking so I could start thinking, but I told you I was slow today.
Well, I got it. Don't worry about it. Look here. The purpose of this that we actually just came up with is underage children, young teens, teenagers, young adults having sex, babies making babies. You understand? That seems to be, it's an epidemic. We got more babies making babies and not being responsible enough. Simple responsibility, really. You can blame the boys, you can blame the girls, you can blame the parents. Contraception is very important, particularly these days. You talking about the mortality rate. I have yet to run across a piece of booty that's worth dying for. I ain't seen that yet. I ain't seen a piece of ass that I said, man, that's gonna take my life. I can't wait to get that. I don't get it. Girls. Okay. I have 3 daughters. Girls, y'all can't fall for every smooth line that a guy comes up with. You understand? Because we slick with the tongue. We real quick and real smooth to say what y'all need to hear for us to get what we want. You understand? The problem is when that's done, if that's done, sex for men or males is not necessarily always the same as sex for women or females. Speaking as a man, from the perspective of a man wanna hit and run. For a man, the more notches on your belt makes you, you popular. You understand? It's a very old saying, a guy with 100 girls is a hero. A girl with 100 guys is a zero. Now, that's the perspective that society has placed, on that particular saying. Personally, I feel like either way, it really don't work out, because as a father of daughters, I don't want my daughters to be with 100 guys. That's just the father in me. But as a guy who was with quite a few daughters, I didn't have a problem with it. You see? But it's different when the rabbit got the gun. And my 4 children by DNA, actual, not DNA, my 4 children, I was married twice. My 4 children by DNA, I did what I was supposed to do. I didn't run off when, the first one was my fiance. And then when my second wife got pregnant, I didn't run off. You understand? I stayed there, consequently down the line, things went left, as it does. But life happens. My current situation now, I have 2 children that I've been in their lives for the last 10 years. So I'm not their biological father, but I'm their daddy. Because as I've said before, your father's the man that made you, your daddy's the man that raised you. Mm-hmm. So I don't want them to put themselves, my sons or my daughters, to put themselves in a position where, now you got somebody else in this world looking at you, because the first time my oldest son looked at me and called me daddy, he was talking to me because that was my name to him, and I didn't feel like it was the responsibility of my mother, because I was raised by a single mother. I didn't feel it was her responsibility to take care of my son, because I did this, and I did this at 19 years old. I also got married at 19. I also moved out at 19. I had a job, I had a wife, you understand? Because I wanted to play grown. I wanted to be a man. And if I want to play a man, then I got to be a man. Mm-hmm. So I did what a grown man is supposed to do as a young man, because my mother raised me and taught me the responsibilities of what I am supposed to do. And if this is what you want to do, these are the decisions that you're making with your life. And that was my life. And I didn't feel the need to try to pawn my responsibilities off on my mother.
Now, what made you say, because you could have been like most of the guys and said, that ain't my problem. What made you say, this is my problem, I have to step up and take care of what is mine?
Well, first and foremost, it wasn't a problem, because that was what I wanted. This was my girlfriend. We was in a long-term relationship. We got engaged. The plan was to, and this wasn't an accident. Mm-hmm. I wanted to have a baby.
But you were with her for a while.
We was together for 5 years.
Okay, this wasn't just a...
Yeah. I met her when I was 14. I came up fast. I'm from New York. I came up fast. I was doing a lot of things at a young age that a young boy my age shouldn't have been doing. I shouldn't have been exposed to a lot of stuff I was exposed to.
So you had to grow up faster than you would if you were living in a smaller city or country.
I guess you say that, yeah. But I mean, though, I come from humble beginnings. My mother, like I said, I'm the youngest of 3 boys, and my mother instilled in me, and and my brothers, I would imagine. Mm-hmm. I can't speak for them because I'm not them. Mm-hmm. But I can tell you that, myself and my brothers, we all have children, and we all, have taken care of our kids. That's always been the case. So I just don't see, I don't think, I don't feel, that, and I really don't get how, if you talking to a girl or you talking to a guy and you get her pregnant or he gets you pregnant, and then all of a sudden it's, well, how do I know? And I don't, I mean, right. It's a simple way to find that out. I'm not talking about no Jerry Springer, but DNA tests prove everything, but you have to understand that every time you have unprotected sex, you playing Russian roulette, for real.
Right.
Not just the chance for, you to make a baby, the chance for you to contract some kind of disease.
Mm-hmm.
The chance for you to spread some kind of disease. I mean, it's kids nowadays, with social media and, everything is easily accessible at their fingertips.
Mm-hmm.
You got people that get catfished, and I mean, you got all kind of stuff that goes on,
Right.
But the bottom line is, we, and quite frankly, particularly, in the African American community, we making a lot of kids, and it's just a perpetual cycle where a lot of kids are, coming up, and girls are having babies, and guys are not taking care of them, and then you got guys getting locked up, and guys being deadbeat dads, and you got so many problems. We have enough issues to deal with, in the world. So why do you want to bring somebody else into the world that you're not going to take care of, or that you're not going to be able to take care of, or that you have no plan B at all?
Well,
You cannot necessarily depend on your parents to take care of that child, because that's not their responsibility. As grandparents, yeah, of course you're going to be happy, but why should my mother have to take care of my children? That's not the right way to go.
But don't you think that a lot of these girls are getting pregnant because they don't have someone to say what we're saying now?
A lot of these girls are getting pregnant.
I'm not blaming it on the girl. I'm just saying that these things happen because they don't have that father figure, and the guys don't have that father figure saying, you can wait. If this is more important, or, I can say that I was raised in a house, my mother and father didn't stay together, but they are always friends to this day. And if I wanted something, advice from this parent, I got it. From that parent, I got it. They were always hands-on, no matter what was going on. And certain things you tell your children as they're growing up, because a lot of people don't want to talk about certain things, but you have to talk about things because you were growing up. You have to remember you grew up. Somebody had to tell you something. And if you think back, maybe if my mother had told me this, or maybe if my dad had said this to me. So my father's told us, you gonna drink? No. My father told us, to put something in your head, not on your head. Just be worried about the outside. You should be worried about the inside. Learn all you can. Certain things that you tell your kids, and one of them was raising one child by yourself is hard work. It's not no picnic. You think, oh, it's a baby. So and so had a baby. It's so cute. They got the prettiest clothes. Those clothes cost money. Those Pampers cost money. Those pacifiers cost money. Y'all call them binkies here. Those bonnets cost money. Those pretty shoes you see cost money. And if you are doing this by yourself, that baby ain't gonna look just like that baby, because that baby might have grandparents to take care of it. When your parents tell you as you're growing up, I'm not taking care of your children, that should tell you one thing right there. If you can't buy your own shoes, there's no way you can be buying a baby's shoes and Pampers. I told my children when I knew that they were old enough to understand what I was saying, because I needed them to understand what I'm saying. I'm not taking care of nothing that didn't come out of this body. And I meant that. And I said, because when we talked about this, it was the older two at first. When we talked about this, I said, I will take you to social services. I will take you to housing. I will do everything I need to do for you, because I'm not taking care of nothing. This has now made you an adult. You can no longer go play basketball with the boys. You can no longer go out with the girls when they want to go party or go to the little girls, sleepovers. You are now a parent. Whether it's here yet or not, you are now a parent, which means now you got to start finding a job, looking for a job if you're not working already. You got to start your mind has to start acting like an adult now. Something you don't want to do at 16. Something you don't want to do at 15. Something when you're at that age, you want to play. And these kids can't play anymore. It's time to be a father. It is time to be a mother. And my kids are, my older two that I started this with are in their 20s now. They don't have any children. You know why? It's a struggle by yourself. Why would you take on that extra responsibility? And if you tell your children these things when they're growing up, before they reach puberty and, exploring their bodies and everything, you'll set them, they'll think before they start doing stupid stuff. Because my kids knew you lay down, it's a possibility you are getting up with something. So they don't have to be no child. It's a possibility you can get up with something. And as far as using condoms and birth control, everything doesn't work. It's not always that clean cut. You may lay down with that person, get up, and the condom is around you. It didn't even work for you. So
abstinence.
That's what I taught my children. Don't do nothing you ain't ready for.
Be ready when you're ready. Don't think you're ready. Know you're ready.
Right.
You understand? Like I said, at 19 years old, I made that decision. But what I didn't do, okay, and one of the stigmas that I would imagine this in every other community, but being a black man, I can speak from a black man's perspective. And the black community, we get a lot of blame for children doing exactly that. Young girls get pregnant and then they, go into the system and, now you depending on social services to take care of you for this and take care of you for that, Right. Meanwhile, your baby daddy is hustling and he on the block and he hanging with his boys and he hollering at these girls and he doing all this other nonsense. Then he mess around and he get locked up because he too busy trying to be in the hood. You know what I'm saying? He trying to be a real nigga. He want to be in the hood. You know what a real nigga is? First of all, I said it before, I'm going to say it again. I'm not a nigger. Okay? A nigger, N-I-G-G-E-R, is a person of lowered intelligence, someone that's not really sharp. You understand? If you can call me anything, call me a nigga, N-I-G-G-A. Never ignorant, getting goals accomplished. All day. You understand? I'll take that. Okay? It pisses me off to see how we do in the black community. It's always easy to sit back and say, he did that, they did that, they holding me down, they doing it. We need to stop making excuses. Okay? I'm not going to talk about that right now, because that's the next subject. But you got to man up. Once you lay down and you've been hollering at shorty and you finally got to hit that, you get her pregnant, that's your responsibility. That's being real. You understand? Everybody talking about, man, I'm the real, man. I'm real, man. You fake, you phony. No, you know what's real? Real is getting up at 5:30 in the morning to go to a job. You understand? Real is working that job and trying to go to school part-time. You understand?
Put money in the bank.
To try to make sure that you can have something better for the life that you brought into this world, so that they don't fall into a perpetual cycle. You understand? And we have to do better, okay? And the blame is to be placed. The blame is widespread, but at the same time, it's direct. It's easy to sit back, like I said, and point the fingers at somebody else. And, well, they doing this and they doing that and they holding me. Did nobody hold you down and make you have sex with that person? And make you get pregnant by that person or make you get that person pregnant? But you and that person. Society wasn't there when you got that girl pregnant. Society wasn't there when you met that dude in the club and he said a couple of 2-3 things to you. You understand? Society wasn't there. So why should society be responsible for your irresponsibilities? It don't make sense. And as a people, not only as a black people, but as people in general, we really have to be more decisive and be more selective with our decision making. Because once you bring a life into this world, you brought a life into this world. And they here.
So the
I'm
question
sorry.
is, how old?
How old? Oh, wow. Well, my case was different. Like I said, I was 19 years old, but I was responsible. You know,
So I think it's
it all depends
maturity.
on the level of responsibility. You know, and like I said, I was raised by a single parent. Okay, in New York City. You know, and my mother, it wasn't easy. You know, 3 boys, and you know, we all want materialistic stuff, and you know, and she worked hard to get, you know, keep food on the table, and you know, do what she needed to do, and you know, when she had it, we had it. When she didn't have it, we couldn't get it. You know, and I mean, I went. You know, for those of you that's looking at me and going, man, he don't know nothing about that, man. He ain't from the hood. You know, he's probably sheltered. Nah. I was hustling. I was getting money. You understand? I never went to jail because I was smarter than that. Okay? I did get shot, so I wasn't that smart. You understand? But that bullet made me understand that I had a choice. Okay? It don't make a difference how much money they can't print enough money. If I'm dead, I can't spend it. You know? So that bullet was the wake-up call for me to go, hey, this ain't the way.
Right.
You know, all my friends was doing it. You understand? I'm from Harlem. Okay? I was getting money. You know? All my friends was doing that. I said, nah, this ain't the way for me. You know, I need to go this way. I need to get in my own lane, do my own thing. You know? A lot of my friends been locked up multiple times. You know, call it 2, 3 of them dead. I'm in my late 40s. You know, and I'm still out here on my grind, working legitimately. I pay taxes. You understand? I got a job, drive a nice car. You know, got a decent woman. You understand? I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, and doing this, you know, which was actually her idea. Okay, for those of you that don't know, which is everybody else that don't know outside of this circle, this was actually her idea. She approached me with this. This is why we started this blog. You know, and this is not just for the African American community. This is for anybody and everybody that's willing to listen, because this is about reasoning. So, back to your question, what age? I can't give a specific number because my situation was different. You know, and everybody's situation.
Years back, if you go back to that time, it was different. The times of today is totally different than it was when we were growing up.
Yeah. Well, for one, we didn't have all this cell phone, social media.
Yeah.
You know, we didn't have none of that.
Yeah, I noticed that the children now is, like you're saying, it's so easy to get certain things because of the internet, or learn certain things because of the internet. What I've noticed on the internet is these girls in no clothes. These girls, and they can't wait to show their bodies off, and then they wonder why guys don't, they treat them the way that they treat them. You gotta care more about yourself. There is no real age, except for I think you should be old enough to understand what happens when you lay down with somebody. So 16, 17, when you old enough to know, I don't want this for my life, you know how to approach that situation. So I can't really say how old you should be when you have sex. I think it's a mental thing. I think you should know more. You shouldn't be laying down at 13, 14, 15. I don't even think you should be laying down 16, 17. Grown is 18 in this country, so I think you should be grown. That way anything happens, you got to take that responsibility. It's all on you, not your parents. But I think that we need to start acting as young women and young men and not little boys and girls. So if you get a certain age, that you have to start putting that stuff to the side. It's time to grow up. And you don't want to grow up too fast, which means you don't want no children. Sex is an adult decision. When you have sex, that's an adult decision. Which means if you're not ready to be an adult, you shouldn't be doing it. And that's all I can say about that, because there's no age. Because there are people at 22 that don't need to be having sex. So it's an adult decision, and you need to be mentally ready for something like that. And that's all I could say about that, because that's
Sex is not going nowhere. It's been around since the beginning of the time. It'll be here when it's time for you to have it. You know, just this generation better understand. Okay, right now we in a situation where the next president might be a mogul or a woman who's already been president twice, you know, and at the rate, at the way things is going, I will not be surprised if down the road, this entire thing about taking care of babies that have babies. You understand? You're not gonna be able to get no help through social service and things like that because, you got too many people, too many Americans complaining about taking care of these people that don't do anything. If you're young and you got kids and you on social service and you old and you can't work anymore, and you on social service, this is interfering with Social Security. You understand? I've been working since I was 17 years old. So that one day I can get a raggedy ass Social Security check that they saying I might not get now.
Right.
So if I'm not gonna get mine, what makes you think you gonna get anything? Be selective in your decision making for real. We really have to understand that, once you make grown up decisions, then you better put your grown up pants on. Yep. So that's one to grow on. Y'all think about that. Till then, y'all take care of each other. Be good to each other. We all in this ball together. We all we got. Till next time, DNA. Signing out.